Hey guys, I'm not sure what happened with our live stream this morning. I'm sorry if you were waiting to get started with me. I've just had to start a new link, so I will add it to the feed later on today, so you can check it out if you missed it this morning. So we have missed the first 8 minutes of our workout, but we are going to more than make up for it. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to lay down on the side of our mats. I'm just going to make sure that this link is attached to the other one. All good. Okay, so we're starting off on our side body. We're really nice and long against the edge of the mat. The hips are stacked, the shoulders are down and back, and the head is propped up in the hand. We're just going to pick up the feet and hinge from the hip, bringing the feet forward. Now from this position, we're going to lift the top leg and then lower. Lift the top leg and lower. Lift up and lower. Abs are in. Lift and lower. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. So we're just sort of opening up in this hip and lengthening through the leg, really mobilizing the lower body here. Good. Keep your lower leg still and stable. Abdominals are engaged. Inhaling and exhaling. Nice work. Really waking up the joints. Good. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now we're going to hold it here and we're going to start to draw some really large circles in the air. So I really want you to plug your navel in towards your spine here. We're going to circle down, up, and around. Circling down, up, and around. So we're drawing really nice big circles in the air. Lengthening out through that toe. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now if you're losing stability here, you can always bend that lower leg. It'll give you a nice stable base of support. Lengthening out through that big toe. You can do it. We've got 2 and 1. Hold it. Now we're going to reverse the direction of those circles. So circling backward. Really moving that leg bone around in the hip socket. Good. Lengthening out through the toe. I can feel the work in the thighs and in the glutes. Good. Breathing deeply. Keeping those shoulders relaxed. Because sometimes when we're doing these moves, we have a tendency to create tension or let tension build up in those shoulders. Good. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Lower your leg down for just a moment. Now we're going to bring the leg up for a little bit of a challenge here. Lengthen through the toe. We're going to draw some really tiny small circles. So circling forward. Little tiny circles. I know these are tough. Lengthening out through the big toe. Good. Breathing deeply for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Now reverse the direction of those circles. Good. Tight little circles moving backwards now. Lengthening out through the toes, strengthening all the muscles in the legs, working into the deep stabilizing muscles of the hips. We've got 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Amazing work. Now we're going to bring the top leg forward into a bridge kind of position. You can have it forward like so or backward on the mat, making sure you've got space for your lower leg to be moving up and down, because we're now going to focus on those inner thighs. So point the toe. We're going to lift and lower. Lift, squeeze the thigh and lower. Lift up and lower down. Breathing in and out. So notice I'm not letting my lower leg rest all the way down to the mat. I'm just hovering it above the mat before squeezing those inner thigh muscles and lifting the leg right back up. Good. Don't worry about how high you get, but do really focus mind to muscle on those inner thighs. So you're leading up with the inner thigh. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. Back into those circles. I know they're killer, but we're going to circle forward now. Circling forward with the big toe. Good. We've got 10 in this direction, so 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, reverse those circles for 10, 9, ooh, inner thigh is burning, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, lift, 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 and relax it down. Nice work. Okay, from this position, we're going to move into an all fours before we turn around and do the opposite side. So, when we were doing our leg lifts, we were focusing on the right leg. We're going to focus on the same leg that was doing the leg lifts up in the air and the big circles. So that's my right leg. So I'm going to flex the foot, pulling the toes back toward the shin, just on that right side. My wrists are below my shoulders here, knees are below the hips. We're gonna lift and lower, lift and lower. So I really want you to focus on squeezing the glutes as you lift, particularly at the top of that lift. You're really squeezing your bum, keeping your hips facing down toward the mat. Lower and lift with control. Lift and lift. Good work. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Good. Keep it up. We've got 5, 4, squeeze, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it in this elevated position. We're going to pulse, little controlled pulses, squeezing the glutes, engaging the abs as you pulse the heel up toward the ceiling. Nice work. Keep it up. Keep that knee lifted to torso height as you pulse up, 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 up. Good work. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Now I'm going to lower just my left arm down to the mat so it's parallel with the top of the mat. My left fingertips are over my right hand. Now we're going to lower the leg and lower the shin. Now I'm going to stretch my leg out on a diagonal. Now from here, we're going to bring knee in toward the elbow and extend. Knee in, extend. Knee in, extend. So my toe is pointed here. I'm cinching in the waistline and I'm working deep into the gluteus medius muscles here. Good. Again, keeping your shoulders relaxed and down away from your ears. Your neck is nice and long. Tap, extend. Tap and extend. Tap it in, extend it long. Really lengthen out through that toe on the extension. We've got 2. Last 1. Hold it here. Flex the foot, pulling the toes back toward the shin. Pulse the heel. Little controlled pulses up with that heel. You can do it. I know these burn. We're really targeting the lower body this morning, and you're doing really great. Keep it up. Breathing deeply. Lift a bit higher if you can. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lower it down. Bring your hands below your shoulders. Step both feet back so that you're in a plank position just for a moment, and then we're going to fold that right leg under the body, coming into pigeon pose. So just stretching out the hip, stretching into the thigh. Open up through the chest here, and we'll hold for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Amazing work. Now you can bring your feet around to the other side of the mat, and we're going to target the opposite side. So rolling down onto your side body, getting nice and long with the edge of your mat. We're going to plant our supporting hand down onto the floor, pick the legs up together, hinging from the hips, bringing the legs forward. Good. Now we're going to do that, all of that on the opposite side. So we're going to lift the leg and lower, lengthen and lower. So I don't know how you feel on this side. This side feels a little bit stiff for me. So I'm really focusing on opening up through that hip and getting as much length as possible through the leg. Good. Abs are engaged so that you're not rocking around here. Your torso is still unstable. This work is happening in the lower body. Good. Abs engaged. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth as we lift and lower with control. Good. Lengthen. And even give it resistance on the way down, so we're not just kind of letting that leg drop down. We're really pressing down as though we're moving through thick mud or wet cement. We're giving it resistance. Good. For 3 and 2 and 1. Good. So now just hover the leg above the lower leg and we're going to move into our circles. So we're going to circle forwards. Really nice, big, exaggerated circles. If you need to bend that lower leg for extra stability, I quite often like to do that because it just really helps me to focus the work in the lower body and not be wobbling around through the torso. Good. All about precision and control with these moves so that we're targeting those little stabilizing muscles in the hips. We're targeting the gluteus medius muscles and we're targeting all the muscles in the leg, the calves, the thigh. Good. We've got 2 and 1. Now we're reversing the direction of those circles, so take it up and over and around, up and over and around. Whew, this side, I can already feel it burning. Really doing good things for the lower body here, strengthening, lengthening, toning. Good, and stretching as well. Breathe through it, you can do it. We've got 3 and 2, relax those shoulders, and last 1, amazing work. Now we're gonna lift the leg up, pointing through the toe, small circles, little tiny circles forward. Good, keep breathing, I know they're tough. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. 10 more, we can do it reverse. Little controlled circles. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, those were tough. Well done for sticking it out. Okay, making that bridge with that top leg. Now we're going to give the top leg a little bit of a rest and focus on the inner thigh on the bottom leg. So lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. Just hovering if you can, not letting that leg totally relax down to the mat, keeping those inner thigh muscles switched on. Good, really squeeze the inner thigh muscle at the top of the lift. Shoulders are relaxed, neck is nice and long, inner thigh muscles engaged. Good, keep it up. We've got 5, 4, lift a bit higher if you can. 3, squeeze those inner thigh muscles. 2, and 1. Good. Now moving into those circles, circling forward. Little controlled circles. Getting that lift by contracting the inner thigh muscle. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. And yep, you know it, we're going to reverse them now. Reverse the direction of those circles. Good, circling back. Nice work. We've got 5, 4, lift the leg a bit higher. 3, 2, and 1. Whew, those were tough. Really targeted the inner thigh right there. Now we're going to get into our all fours position again. This time working the left leg. So I'm positioning my wrists below my shoulders, knees below the hips, legs are hip distance apart. We're gonna flex that left foot and pick it up, the heel up toward the ceiling. Squeeze the glute at the top of the lift. Lower and lift, lower and lift. So really focusing on contracting those glutes as you lift the heel up toward the ceiling. Good. Keeping the hips square with the mat. So keep those hips balanced on both sides. Good. Abs are in, neck is long, and the gaze is down on the floor so that your neck is in line with your spine. Good. Really squeeze the bum. Hold. Notice how I'm holding just for a second at the top of every lift. Every time I hold, I'm squeezing those left glutes, contracting those left hamstrings. Good. But also not overarching the low back. So you're not forcefully kicking that leg up so that you're arching through the spine. And you're really focusing on keeping your belly lifted up toward the ceiling to protect the spine and to work the abs at the same time. Last one, hold it here. We're going into our pulses. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Same thing again. We're keeping those glutes contracted on the left side. Pulsing that heel up toward the ceiling without rocking around in the spine. Good. Shoulders are nice and broad. We're pushing the mat away from us here, so we're not collapsing through the shoulders. Torso is stable. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Amazing work. Lower the leg down, lower the shin down. Drop your right forearm down to the floor so it's parallel with the top of your mat, and take your leg out on a diagonal. So from here, we're going to bring the knee toward the elbow and extend. Knee toward the elbow and extend on the diagonal. Good. Nice work. Get nice and long with your extensions. Really elevate the leg here. Cinch in the waistline every time you bring the elbow toward the knee. Bring it in and extend. Tap and extend. Inhale and exhale. We've got 5, 4, lengthen. 3, you can do it. 2, last one. We're coming out on an extension and flexing the foot. Now we're going to pulse. Those little controlled pulses, pulsing that heel up toward the ceiling. Relax those shoulders. Lift a bit higher. Good. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lower the leg. Take your hands below your shoulders. Step back into plank. Hold for a moment, and then fold the working leg under the body. Sit up, stretching and lengthening through the spine, and just enjoy the stretch here, opening up in the hip. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Amazing work. So now from this position, we're going to come into cross-legged, and we're just going to release some tension in the shoulders. So we're going to lift the shoulders up by the ears. Inhale and exhale, roll them down and back. Lift the shoulders up and roll them down and back. Amazing work. So now we're going to get into position for some upper body strengthening moves. And these upper body strengthening moves are also going to target the core. So we're going to place the hands below the shoulders, step back into a plank position, flex through the feet, and move into downward dog. Stretch and lengthen here, lifting the tailbone up toward the ceiling. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now we're going to come forward into our plank and bring the right knee in toward the chest. We're going to hold, lower the right knee down so that the shin is just a couple inches off the mat, and then lift. Lower so the shin hovers, and lift, scooping in the belly. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Good work. Lower the shin and lift it up. We've got 4, 3, push up through the heels of your hands. 2, draw navel in, and last 1, and step it back into your downward dog. Stretching and lengthening through the spine. Amazing work. Inhale here, and exhale, we're gonna bring opposite knee in toward the chest. Knee is hovering above the mat. We're gonna lower and lift. Lower and lift. So really scoop your belly in as you press up off the mat, bringing that knee up and towards your chest. Good. I know these are tough. Stick with it. We've got 4, 3, abs in, 2, and 1. Step it back. Amazing work. Stretch and lengthen up through your tailbone. And now we're going to come forward again into plank. So we're going to come forward into our plank position. We're going to hold here. So creating that nice straight long line with the body. We're going to go into some alternating shoulder taps. So tapping opposite hand toward opposite shoulder, holding strong in your plank. If you need to lower your knees down toward the mat, you can do that for a couple of reps. Otherwise, keep your body in that plank position. Keep your bum lowered, creating that flat line with the body as you shift from side to side. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower both hands to the mat and push up and back. Coming into your downward dog. Amazing work. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now we're going to lower our knees down toward the mat and bring the hands back behind the body. Preparing for our tricep dips. Okay, so tricep dips are some of my favorite back of the arm sculpting moves. We are going to open up through the chest here, dig the heels down into the mat, and lift into a reverse tabletop position. So make sure that your elbows are pulled back behind you. Your chest is nice and open here. We're gonna lower and lift. Lower the bum and lift. So you're lowering the body, but you're pushing up through the heels of the hands. So really make the movement count by focusing on the backs of the arms as you press up. Lower and lift. Good work. Lower and lift. So you're not lowering your bum all the way down to the floor. You're keeping it hovering. Focusing on the backs of the arms as you press up through the heels of your hands. Good. You can do it. We've got 3, 2, final 1, lift, extend your right leg out long, extend your left leg out long, and lower your bum down to the mat. And now fold over the lower body. So draw yourself down into a deep back body stretch. Grab a hold of your ankles or your feet or your thighs and just draw belly in towards your spine to create more space so you can fold a little bit more deeply. Dropping the crown of your head. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 and 2 and 1. Amazing work. Now we're going to come back onto our side. We are going to prop ourselves up on the right forearm. Now stack the knees and stack the hips. Chest is nice and open here, and your elbow is directly below your shoulder. I'm going to bend my knees here. You can have your legs straight out into a full side plank position, but I'm going to keep my knees bent, which is the slightly easier option, and I'm going to really focus on my waistline here. So I'm placing my hand on my top hip, and I'm just going to lift that lower hip up, squeezing the side bum, squeezing through the obliques, and then lower, just hover. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So pick that hip up as much as possible. Focus on contracting through those obliques as you lift that bottom hip up off the floor. Again, not letting that bottom hip fully relax down on the floor before picking it back up. It's just hovering and then I'm lifting. So I'm keeping the tension on those abs throughout the entire range of movement. Good. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Challenge yourself. Really pick that lower hip up off the floor. Cinching in that waistline, keeping the chest nice and open. We've got 4, 3, lift a bit higher, 2, and 1. We're gonna hold at the top of the lift and pulse, 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 pulse. Good. Little controlled pulses. Lifting that hip up toward the ceiling, cinching in the waistline. Good. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lift a bit higher. Hold, hold, hold for 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. Amazing work. Now we're going to slowly roll down onto our backs. We're going to interlace our hands behind our heads, and we're going to bring the legs into a tabletop position. So from here, legs are about hip distance apart. Head rests heavy in the hands. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to lift and extend one leg up and back to tabletop. So we're lowering down, we're lifting, extend opposite leg out long, lift and back to tabletop. Lower, extend, lift and bend. Lower, extend, lift and bend. Lower, extend, lift and bend. Now I'm going to keep my head up the whole time. Good. As I extend, lift and bend. If this gets too much with your head elevated, simply lower it down to the mat and just really focus on those abs contracting as you extend and using those lower abs to lift the leg. And then back to tabletop. Good. Extend, lift, and bend. Alternating sides. If your head, neck, and shoulders are lifted, try to elevate them just that little bit more so that you're really focusing on the upper abs as well. Good. We've got 3 and 2. Nice work. And last one. And relax head, neck, and shoulders down if they are lifted. Now we're going to take the hands overhead. Palms are facing up toward the ceiling. We're going to inhale here and exhale, extend arms and legs into a crunch position, bringing the hands by the sides. Good. Now, if this is too much with the extension of the legs, I want you to keep the leg in tabletop as you come up. So it looks like this, but if you've got the strength to do so, extend the legs and point through the toe as you curl and crunch up. Good. Breathing in through the nose as you lower and out through the mouth as you lift. Nice work. We've got 3 and 2 and final 1. We're going to come up and hold. Reach a little bit further away from yourself with those fingertips. Lower the legs a couple inches and hold for 5, 4, 3. You can do it. 2 and 1. Relax it down and gently roll up to a seated position. Good. Last move, we're going to target the opposite side with those oblique crunches. So we're going to place the forearm down on the mat. Elbow is below the shoulder, chest is nice and open, knees are stacked, hips are stacked, hand is on the hip. We're going to lift and lower. Make any adjustments you need to here. Good. Remember, you're just hovering that hip above the floor before pressing it right back up. Good. Keep breathing. Lift a bit higher and lower. Lift and lower. Good work. Lift and lower. cinching in that waistline, focusing on getting that lift with the lower hip. And again, keeping those oblique muscles engaged on the way up as well as on the way down. Your navel is really plugged in toward the spine here. Good. You've got this. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're holding at the top of that lift and we're pulsing. Little controlled pulses up toward the ceiling, lifting that lower hip. You've got this. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lift, 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 and lower with control. Amazing work. Bring yourself into a cross-legged position. We're gonna lift the right arm up and just stretch and fold over the body, keeping that right hip lower, keeping the right bum cheek down on the floor. Stretch a bit further, and then return to center. Now we're gonna lift opposite arm up and over. Ooh, I'm shaking a little bit. Muscles have been working hard. Reach a bit further for 3 and 2 and 1. Bring it back to center. Lift your shoulders up by your ears. Inhale and exhale, down and back. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning of that session, but I hope you were able to make it. And if you're not joining me this morning, I hope that you enjoy this workout at any point in your day, and I look forward to working out with you again next week. See you soon. Bye.